And welcome back everyone, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the hardest career series. Today's episode I'm going to be testing another prototype aircraft, one we haven't actually flown before. And it's a K-52P Strato-Carrier. Now this aircraft is destined to be the aircraft we use to carry our first spaceplane, suborbital spaceplane test aircraft up to a particular altitude, then we can drop it from underneath the wing. So that's what we're going to be, rather like NASA's X-15. Okay, so we're heading into the aircraft hangar to take a look at it very quickly, and then we shall join Val and Ray in the desert, at the desert airfield there, and we'll be testing the aircraft. Okay, so here we are back in the aircraft hangar, and this is the K-52-P, P for propeller, Strato-Carrier. So right now it's going to be propeller powered. I'm going to test the aircraft for handling. I'm going to be testing it with the full weight of the space plane. The rocket powered aircraft I'm going to be flying in a not too distant future. And the counterbalance. These two are going to be decoupled at the same time. So I want to test, make sure they actually decouple nice and cleanly. So I don't collide with the main aircraft or an engine, which is probably going to spell disaster. We've got 3 other engines, obviously if we lose 1, but if we lose 2, we might have a problem. Okay, so handling wise, it looks like it's going to be a little bit tail heavy, but that means the tail's going to lift up first. So that might help us get off the runway. We are a little bit low at the front bogies, here and here. So I'm hoping they're not too low, so we've got enough of a pivot point to lift the nose off. We shall have to see. Okay, so Ray and Valentina are ready in the desert airfield with another one of these. So go ahead and join them. Okay, so we are ready. We brought Bill along just in case something breaks and he can fix it. He might not be able to, but hopefully he can, if it's something simple, he might be able to fix it. Okay. So there's the aircraft. I'm just seeing that in the hangar. So I'm going to be testing the drop mechanism for that. Make sure it doesn't hit anything vital, along with its compatriot here, the counterbalance. Something we do have to do before we take off is sort the liquid fuel. For some reason it seems to empty the liquid fuel out of tanks, external tanks first. Obviously the drop tanks it's what you'd want it to do. You'd want it to empty the drop tanks first, but right now we don't want it to do that. We want to drop the rocket plane at full weight. Otherwise it won't give us a proper demonstration. Only those two, the other 2 are locked. We've got 1 here. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, take a look inside the cockpit first. Nice wooden floor. There's Val. Okay, obviously in the future episode, once we have all this worked out and balanced and got this actually flying properly, we'll have someone in that cockpit. Right now we're just dropping it as if it's a bomb. Okay, so here we go. SES is on. Brakes off. Okay, I've got a failure already. Reaction wheel. Okay. So we're not getting any lift. Okay. Yeah, okay, so what I thought, exactly what I said, I hope that the forward bogies were low enough, but obviously they're not quite high, not quite pitching the nose up high enough. Or we could run out, no, let's not bring the tail down, we could do this glide as well. Now what's failed? Reaction wheel failure, that was first, but that's why we even took off. But we suffered a stuck control serve. Oh, good grief. Which one is it? Is it that one? Okay. Can you fix it, Bill? It's beyond repair, he says. Follow you are. Well, then again, I suppose you'd have to walk out to the wing, wouldn't he, and try and fix it then. Ah, dear God. Never rains, but it passes. So we've got the reaction wheel out here, which would have been able to compensate for the stuck control surface here. But obviously, both of them have failed, so I'm surprised it hasn't tipped over yet. So we shall have to turn roll control on these little... There we go. Coming back straight again, aren't we? Are we? Typical. I suppose that's why we do prototype test flights, I suppose. Electric charge seems to be okay. 150 meters a second, just over 2 kilometers. That's not very good. Though we are accelerating. We are quite... Yeah, quite high angle of attack. Okay, as always, all the previous ones that we've flown from the desert airfield, we'll head towards KSC. Using the autopilot. Let's level the wings out first. Vertical speed down to 10 meters a second. Turn SAS off. Yeah, it's starting to pick up a little bit of power, I suppose. Okay, so we're losing a lot of power. We are still climbing about 10 meters a second. But I do think by the way the power's dropping off, our airspeed is dropping off as well. I do think about 5 kilometers, probably about the maximum for this aircraft. It is quite heavily laden on fuel. You can see 4,700 minutes. I wish 4,700 seconds worth of fuel. So obviously key here is once again, as we've already noticed, it's lied substantially. So I'm thinking at least treble the amount of minutes worth of burn time for aircraft engines, propeller and jet engines. Increase it by 3 at least. But so we are quite overladen with fuel. With 1,000 units in each of these radial liquid fuel mounts. We seem to be drawing fuel out of there, but not this. Oh, yes we are. That's fine. Thought it was odd fuel draw then. Okay. As you can see, I'm not really taking a close look at the aircraft itself, the actual rocket-powered space plane, suborbital space plane, but we've got these T2 strakes rather than actual undercarriage. So obviously we need to test this unmanned first. Make sure we can actually land it safely, or we're going to have to ditch it in the water, one of the two. Either way it makes no real difference. Okay, about 5 kilometers going up to. As soon as we get to 5 kilometers, we will test the drop mechanism of the counterweight as well as the rocket plane itself. Okay, 5,000 meters, holding the altitude with the autopilot. Hold the wings level. Check to make sure that it's actually full of fuel. Okay. Yep, the wings should be empty. That's fine. So, even straight level. Obviously, we're not level. No. No, not keeping up airspeed. It says Mach 0.5 there, but that's airspeed, not ground speed. It's barely 150 meters a second, which isn't fast enough for dropping this for operational purposes. We'll still go for the test for now, but we do need to convert this over to jet engines. I already said that. Okay, here we go then. Okay, so successful test. This is the drop mechanism anyway. Seems to be well balanced. A little bit nose heavy. We shall sort that out at a future point before we obviously operational. Before its first flight. Okay, so I think we'll carry on towards KSC. We're touching down there. Yeah, I think jet engines are a must. Losing a bit of the fuel, I think we'll get rid of this. We'll keep the physical tank, but we'll keep it empty. That way we can actually move our centre of mass slightly further back. So pump fuel from here to there and to there. But I don't think we're going to get the performance out of this, no matter what we do. Okay, let's head over to KSC. And we'll touch down there and recover the aircraft. And the crew, obviously. Okay, so I tried bringing this in using the autopilot's navigation. KC just there. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to want to work with this aircraft because it's a little bit too slow and wallowy. So I'm going to have to do this manually. So I'll turn that off first. SES on. There we go. Turn that off. And that off. Okay. So probably overfly the island airfield first and then do a turn. And head into the runway. Phew. Okay, throttle down. Doesn't matter how we get it down. As long as we get it down in one piece. Yeah, it doesn't help when it's loading in detail either. No brakes. Don't want to use it too much. Obviously the power of the brakes is divided unevenly. We've got the tail plane. Not the tail plane, the actual tail wheel itself, slightly more powerful than the front bogies. Yeah, see just there, about to flip. Okay. Not too bad. pretty well balanced once all the parts didn't fail. Obviously we got 2 failures. Phew. Without those 2 failures, we might have been able to bring it down a little bit easier. But overall, that's not too bad. So I think what we'll do, we'll increase the size of the main wings. I think we'll convert it over to jet engines as well. We need slightly larger wings, or quite considerably larger wings to be able to maintain lift at that high altitude. We can't make it into a Mach 1 plus bomber. It just doesn't look right, does it? Doesn't look like a Mach 1 bomber. Okay, go ahead and recover. Okay, so recovered. Everything back, but obviously the 2 parts that we dropped. Okay, no ribbons. No experience. No ribbons. Okay, not expected anyway. Okay, so that's not too bad. As I said, the drop mechanism was the main thing was test, and the balance of the aircraft. Both of those seem to be fine. We did have a reaction wheel failure, and that's control surface failure. So what we're going to do, increase the size of the wings, as I said, in the runway, and convert it over to jet engines, and try that mission again. So that's coming to the very next episode. Whether that's the end of this episode, that's all I've got time for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to click like, it's appreciated. Also, if you do enjoy the content, clicking the subscribe button and sharing the content as well does help the channel grow and is very much appreciated. If you come to ask a question, you're more than welcome to do so. However, please remember we've got a moderator team who will go through the comments before they're enabled and also sent to me. So sometimes it can take a while for me to get back to you if you need to answer to your question. Sometimes I can't get to all of the questions or the comments, so I apologise for that beforehand. And don't forget, with Discord, Facebook and Twitter, you can find links to all those platforms on the banner front page of the channel. Alright, once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. In the meantime, as always, take care and bye bye.